In today's video, I'm going to talk about the pitfalls of market-driven support, how customers are seeing this as an alternative to upgrading, but unfortunately it only covers a very small amount of time. So it's actually quite clever in the way that Oracle have marketed this new support service. So branding it market-driven support alludes to the fact that their customers within the market are saying this is the support they would like. What it's actually doing is Oracle are giving their customers another excuse to pay more money for less support. The title itself lends itself to being driven by customers and what they're wanting, so support for legacy systems such as 11G databases that we all know going out of support at the end of the year, or the 12.3 application that is again going into sustaining support at the end of 2021. But instead what it's doing is it's getting its customers to remain on their current version, but driving them to do that upgrade later on, while paying more money for the privilege. The support itself is actually not giving you guaranteed support. If you look at the terms of what Oracle is saying, it's severity 1 fixes that they deem commercially viable. I mean, that's an argument that you then have to have and say, well, what's commercially viable and what's important to the customer might not be important to Oracle. Or many customers aren't asking for the same request, so Oracle, as part of their agreement, don't actually have to provide you with a resolution. The title in itself, market-driven support, suggests that Oracle are listening to what their customers are wanting. But well, in fact, it's not. It's just providing a different revenue stream for the organisation. The main pitfalls of market-driven support is the length of time that they will guarantee you the service for. They're only offering market-driven support for a maximum of 2 years for their customers, so you still have to be on that upgrade path. It's just a short-term solution for a longer-term problem. One of the other drivers to look at market-driven support is security, and no longer having regular updates from Oracle for security as well as break-fix solutions. Market-driven support is only offering to provide security fixes that they deem appropriate. A lot of the companies we speak to are regulated, and the regulators themselves say that these particular products must be in support. It doesn't say they have to be in support with the vendor, but it says they must be in support. So having market-driven support is best endeavours. It doesn't guarantee you're having that support service. That's given that a lot of companies are drive to say, well, actually I need to look at third-party support because they will guarantee that all of my software versions are securely covered through solutions like we provide, like Trend Micro. The Oracle customers I'm speaking to are saying, well, I don't want to have to pay for additional support services that are in fact less than I'm receiving now. I've spoken to a particular Oracle customer this week who run multiple instances of 11G databases. Now, they are aware it's going out of support at the end of the year, and they've got no option to upgrade within that time, and actually their future plans are not to stay on the Oracle software. So they've obviously looked at third-party support, and that drive to look at third-party support has come from having conversations with Oracle about market-driven support. Their understanding of market-driven support was to pay Oracle an additional amount of money, which to them wasn't a problem, but it would include having security updates and fixes for issues that they would have while they were in market-driven support. Going into the detail a little bit more of what the support actually provided and reading in the fine print, it actually says that if Oracle deem severity 1 fixes commercially viable, then they may provide the fixes for them. Whereas in third-party support, all severity tickets that you raise are viable and will have a resolution given to them. That was one of the main drivers for looking at third-party support as an alternative to market-driven support. We'd love to hear from you if you and your organisation are looking at Oracle market-driven support, and to see whether third-party support from us can be an alternative solution.